I told you I found you a perfect match. Chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack. And I would add, you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Aysha gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Welcome to A Perfect Match, where today we will be talking Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 20. I am one of your hosts, Jason Reed. With me, my co-host, Aysha Welch. Aysha, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Shooting the breeze, just quick question. What were you up to last night? What'd you do?
I think I went out with just a group.
A group of what?
A group of podcasters.
Oh, okay. And who was among these podcasters?
A little of him, a little of her.
Oh, okay. So Mari was not in the group of podcasters that you were with last night.
What are you trying to get at?
I asked you which podcasters. You didn't mention Mari. You just said people. So I'm trying to get to the bottom of like who you were with. I mean, we've talked about this. We've had conversations about who you're making priorities, who you're hanging out with. I gave you the opportunity to come clean and tell me who you're with. You didn't. You lied. You lied.
Now I think about it, we did run into her.
No, yeah.
But
you ran into her, huh? Okay.
I don't know what happened after that. Who knows?
Okay.
That was all the way last night.
Okay. We talked about your relationship with Mari and how it makes me feel and how you're not making me a priority, but that's okay. That's cool. That's whatever. You decide to do that.
Look, me and Mari have the other black girl. We have what, MAFS? That's really what you want to have?
Oh, wow. Okay. That's how you feel. All right. Wow. It's got a little too real. The skit turned into real life. I think we need to stop it now.
You're like, whoa. This tear is real.
Let's get a little real here. Okay. Let's go into the real show because I don't know if I can take much more of that. Okay.
You played yourself. Welcome, y'all. We made it to Decision Day Part 1. And by Part 1, we mean the Decision Day for everybody who started on time.
Yeah. Not for latecomers.
Right. Chloe and Michael will have their Decision Day in a few weeks. I think 4 weeks to be exact, maybe.
Yeah.
We will be celebrating their first month anniversary next week. But for now, we'll talk about 3 of the other 4 couples who did go to Decision Day. Did you enjoy the episode overall?
Yeah, I actually thought it was a very good episode.
Me too.
I thought it was a great episode. We got it all. We got drama, we got intrigue, we got tea being spilled.
Listen,
I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Hey, this was one of the very few episodes I didn't have to pause to see how much time is left.
I did. I paused it very soon in the episode. I said, "This is 2 hours."
I didn't even notice.
They never prepare us for the 2-hour episode. They just drop it on us. I was like, "Oh, it's 2 hours now." Like, listen, we usually have an hour and a half of show and then a half hour of after party. So usually I digest 2 hours of Married at First Sight content, but it's a very important distinction between hour and a half and after party and then 2 hour of just the whole show. So it's like, okay. I was like, oh, it's going to be 2 hours. But listen, it was entertaining 2 hours.
It was.
I didn't feel like any of it really lagged or, was slow. Becca and Austin's Decision Day was kind of slow. Like their meeting with the experts was slow. But after that, it picked up.
It was like everything had a purpose.
Yeah, 100%. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, I will say.
I did too. There were many moments that I was just like, so I cannot wait to talk about it. So let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Make sure y'all subscribe to Love at First Sight feed, where you can get all the podcasts for Married at First Sight. So you can find this lovely here podcast, A Perfect Match, there. And you can get all the podcasts for Love is Blind season 6 that's happening right here, right now. Well, not right here, but it is happening right now on the concept of time.
Thank you for the explanation.
I'm trying to speak
time,
like
time is a flat circle. You understand.
I'm learning from Michael. So,
gosh.
So go make sure you go subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating review wherever you listen to the podcast. We really appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up on the YouTube video if that's where you're watching, or leave us a nice comment. But we will shout out a couple 5-star reviews. But before we do that, I have a couple of personal reviews to shout out. And yes, I mean personal reviews. So the first one is from my friend Gabby. She had already left us a review on the feed, so she emailed me. It gave me a review. So it says, "Warning: do not watch or listen if you're trying to be productive. I don't even like MAFS like that, but this podcast always has me pausing and laughing. I watch on 2 times speed, but still get through it as a 1-time speed because I'm kikiing with Jason and Aysha like they're my friends. Well, Aysha is. They are such a dynamic duo, and I want them to podcast about all the reality shows I watch. I honestly think y'all are my favorite RHAP podcast. Keep up the great work."
Let's go, Gabby. Gabby, first of all, you sent us just a random review for Aysha's timeline. Listen, I mean, first of all, obsessed much, but okay, that's fine. And Gabby, Aysha's not your only friend. I'm your friend too. Okay, let's get that straight.
Right. I'm like, why didn't she also CCU? I'll talk to her about that.
Yeah,
but I also got another review from I think his name is Aysha Welch. Might be my brother.
Could be, possibly.
Could be. People say we look alike. I don't know if I see the resemblance. He texted me. He said, "Also, remind me to never listen to the MAFS podcast while I'm at the gym. Y'all had me cracking up. I know I looked crazy." And then I sent a bunch of laughing emojis. And then he said, "Girl, y'all had me laughing mid-set. I was like, let me pause this until I'm done with this set."
Yeah, you gotta be careful when lifting weights and all that stuff when you're around us, because you'll pull a hernia or something, not paying attention, drop a weight on your toe. Yeah,
lifting and listening.
Gotta be safe.
Love.
Gotta be safe, Aston. Gotta be safe.
Lifting and listening and laughing. You can't do all that.
The 3 L's. You never do 3 L's all together. Right. It's very important. Safety tip. Right. Yes. So please, please leave us 5-star reviews and maybe tell us how much you enjoy laughing at our podcast, how much you enjoy us laughing at the podcast, to combat some of these other reviews that we're getting. We got a 2-star review the other day that just said too much comedy. We're doing too much. We have to scale back the comedy, bring it back. We got to be more factual about MAFS so that we're pleasing these people. Only the facts, ma'am.
Only the facts. From here on out.
This is reporter Aysha. This is reporter Aysha Welch. She's put on her
Putting
glasses.
on my glasses. Mm-hmm. No laughing. We're straight reporting what happened on the show. But why would we do that when you could just watch the show? What are we here for?
Yeah, we're here. We're here to add a little spice to the show. We're here to give you what happened. We're at a little yuck, a little funny, a little fun time. So listen, give us a 5-star review to combat these negative Nancys that are polluting our feed with bad reviews. Anyway, I'm gonna read a review. It is entitled "Marriage Ain't for Punks." It says, "Have you guys heard of Pastor Cal's new dating app titled Marriage Ain't for Punks? Would love some kind of breakdown of this new business venture from Creepy Cal."
I actually have heard of it, but I do believe it is only like I think the twist is you only get one match. So it's the world's first marriage app of its kind.
Better make it count.
Right. This is Marriage Ain't for Punks is a marriage community where couples receive valuable, practical. Well, this isn't the dating app one. No. He had, because this is Pastor Cal. So I guess he does have an app just for marriage ain't for punks. But let me look. Pastor Cal has dating. He does have a dating app. Because I was like,
listen.
Oh wait, here we go. Here it is. Okay, so
yeah.
Pastor Cal, Pastor Cal's app is named after him and his wife's marriage workshop. Marriage Ain't for Punks isn't just a matchmaking app, but it does help in that area as well. Pastor Cal explained to us that it's an app that can help with marriage counseling and even parenting with your partner. And the other side of the coin is that it can help singles find other marriage-minded individuals.
I mean, listen. You're gonna have to beta test this. Obviously, I can't do anything with it because if I have a dating app on my phone, I can't say it's for the podcast. I swear it's for the podcast. I can explain it to my wife. She won't believe me. So you got to dig deep on this. But how are we supposed to have any faith in this dating app when we're seeing these results on this show?
No, I honestly did see somewhere. So it says he's crowdsourcing right now. Because I saw like this unique twist. It's like you can't just swipe. I think you have to put in all your qualifications.
You have to be intentional. Is what Pastor Cal would say. You must be intentional with your choices.
Right. Marriage doesn't work. You work the marriage.
Be willing to give grace to whoever you match with.
Right.
And be vulnerable. All the buzzwords.
No one, right? Take the Dr. Pepper approach.
Your login is your favorite sexual position. That's how you log into the app.
Oh my goodness. So, anywho, yes, I have heard of that app. So it'll be interesting if that actually like takes off. Because the problem with new dating apps is you have to have people on it.
Oh, really?
Right.
But it's kind of like the Married at First Sight pool, right? Like, I guess you'd be fine with you. We only have like 20 people signed up for the app, but we're gonna match these two people that we have. We don't care if they really
40% in common.
Yeah, that's good, right? That's not bad. Look, Pastor Cal, if you want to come promote, we would love to have you on the podcast. So if you're listening, which I'm sure you are,
if he's made it this far through all of those impressions, I would be shocked.
He probably likes it. Pastor Cal, come on the show. We'll talk to you.
Is there another review you want to read?
Yeah, let me do. Someone named Heightfu says, y'all are the best. Been listening to your podcast for a while now, but just started watching it on YouTube. Just when I thought I couldn't laugh any harder, seeing you both making the jokes takes me to another place. Both of you are hilarious and very entertaining. Aysha, you're hilarious and entertaining, which they included you in that. Aysha, I love your laugh and miss you on the Love is Blind podcast, but so happy to have Jason. One more thing, I've been told in the Mean Girls movie, they say Mean Girls wear pink on Wednesdays. I'm wondering if that's why the ladies are wearing pink.
Yes.
Interesting.
When I read that review and saw that, I was like, that makes sense.
Interesting. I mean, is that a commentary on like the guys thinking they're mean girls, like, or is it just like they're standing
or
in
they
unity?
Just love mean? Yeah, it could just be like it could be just this as simple as on Wednesdays we wear pink. I don't know if it's as deep as Mean Girls, connecting them to being mean girls, or like
I wonder if they're like kind of, I don't know, running like going into the skid of people thinking like, you guys are mean girls, you guys are always harping on Austin and Brennan. I don't know, who knows. I need answers on this reunion. I need answers about what is with the pink.
Is Kevin gonna ask? So on After Party, I noticed.
I know it's a weird question because I don't even usually.
But I think they all wore pink to the reunion too, though.
Oh gosh, yeah. Hopefully we get some answers to that. I really need some answers.
Well, Also, make sure you go subscribe to go join the Facebook group. You can find us at A Perfect Match Podcast. This week, the password is
Release the text, Cam. Release the text. We want to see them. We need to see the texts. Need it.
We do want to see the text desperately.
Show me the text.
So go join the fun on the Facebook group. We have a great time in there talking about the episodes, and then you can also catch some Love Is Blind discussion in there as well right now.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. Who are we talking about first?
We'll kind of go in the order of the show. Mostly, we'll hit Becca and Austin first. We come into the episode. It's decision day, everyone. Pastor Cal, which I am convinced that he taped this before the season even probably filmed. He's like, it's time for decision day. Hopefully, a night alone has given each individual clarity. It's like, well, they were all only alone, not for the purpose of having a night alone before decision day. They just left each other. Like they
like
all
literally no one lives together at this point.
Yeah, they all just left Patrick out. Like which makes me think like they taped this before. They're like, well, it still fits. So
I was thinking that too, but he also said it's been a roller coaster for most couples.
Well, listen, you can say that for every season. They probably just pre-record that. It's fine. That's probably will be a roller coaster. That probably fits too.
True.
We then see Becca. She's getting ready. She talks about how they had this emotional conversation last night, and then he left and went back to his apartment. She says she feels a lot of guilt and disappointment and confusion. Austin says his decision has flip-flopped a lot, but the time apart was really needed, and it helped get to a base level of thinking and giving them the opportunity to course correct. I said, now, I espoused this like conspiracy theory last episode. Maybe Austin just left because that's what you do the day before decision day. We got no information on Austin's side of the argument from last episode.
Yeah, I thought about that after we podcast last week. I was like, what if he just left because it was the day before? Like we didn't. Like he's supposed to leave.
Yeah, because he gave no insight on like I just couldn't take it anymore. I just I had to leave. He just acted like everything was honky dory. So I'm like, what is going on here? What is happening? Did he is this more miscommunication? Austin's like Becca's like he was so mad. He just was quiet and left. He's like, no, I like that's what the producers told me I had to go. Right, that's the thing. I just don't know anymore. I don't know anymore.
I don't know what to believe.
I just don't know.
On or off camera.
Everyone's lying to everyone else. Austin says he is bummed that a lot of their issues cropped up right before decision day. Becca says she's unsure how to fight for this marriage anymore, but she's just unsure of how much he actually cares about her or how much is for just for the camera.
It's funny for him to say just crept up right before decision day, because if I'm not mistaken, they had a big issue with religion that they decided to. We're just gonna not talk about religion right now per Dr. Pia's instruction. So we're gonna table that. But then we find out, later she's just like she hasn't been happy for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that's not just before decision day. Okay, that is
to Austin. It is because this is the first I'm hearing of it.
He's like, what?
Because
it's just been this past week.
He's just clueless. I think that's part of Austin's big thing. He's clueless. So we get to the Spruce Mountain Ranch as we get all the experts gathering together. I'm trying to think if this is the first time they've all been in the same room since the very first part of the season. I think so.
Yeah, because we've had Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal in the same room. They were all on Zoom, but that was from separate places. And Dr. Pia stayed in Denver, meeting with the couples every episode.
She might as well got an apartment there because she was there all the time.
Yeah.
They talk about how rocky the season has been. So we've had things we've just never seen before. They get into Becca and Austin. They were our golden couple for a while, but then they had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of miscommunications. Pia says, Austin's lack of emotional awareness compared to Becca, who has a lot of emotional awareness, really makes it hard for him to express himself. And they kind of have to be his interpreter for Becca in that way. Pia says they have feelings for one another and shared interests and respect for each other, but they just got to make it work. It's all right. I mean, it's not really good if you say you have to have an interpreter, right? Like,
right. Like,
because they're not going to be there forever.
Exactly. Like at this point, This should be the start of something new. This should be how you ride off into the sunset, not, oh, we're still addressing week one issues where you don't know how to communicate to your spouse.
Yeah. So we get the entrances, you know, they have to get their little spiels before they enter. Becca says when she first saw Austin, she felt excitement and relief all at once. His smile lights up the whole dang house. She appreciates that he lives in the moment, as it has helped her struggles become less intimidating, but it's been difficult to feel connected to him due to the lack of intimacy. She feels like her authentic self with Austin, but she has struggled with whether or not to that she can truly express herself with him, and she is now worried about how concerned he is with how he looks on camera, rather than how she feels. I don't know if they. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just glad one of us listened to this part.
You're just like womp, womp,
yeah, womp, 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 womp. Old pictures of what we've seen already. Womp, womp, womp. I said nothing I'm about to hear is going to change what we're about to see them discuss again sitting with the experts.
But it's a lot of like contradictions because she's like, I feel like my authentic self with Austin, but I can't truly express myself, which is it? Because I feel like both of those things can't live with each other. Like, so weird. Austin says, you know, first time he saw her, he was overcome with emotion. Not only is she beautiful, but her energy lights up the room. Their initial chemistry was easy and natural, but his religious beliefs, directness, and the lack of speed of intimacy has affected them. He says that she lacks trust in him now because of the things that he has done in this process. He loves her, but there's just a lot to overcome.
Did you notice while Austin was talking, it sounded like he was laying down and like just on his back, like
he's like,
the struggles with my religious beliefs, intimacy, and my directness. What? There was no energy.
I mean, but that's Austin.
Is this
though.
Austin?
No, but that's Austin. Austin gives us nothing.
It wasn't.
You think Austin gives us energy a lot?
No, but it was just a different level.
It was Austin reading from a script, which is even less energy than Austin just going off the cuff.
True.
That fits Austin to a T.
Yeah.
So Austin enters first, gives hugs all around to the experts, followed shortly by Becca. Becca and Austin embrace. Like, okay, we're starting this off nicely. We're still getting a hug in here. Pepper says the last time we saw you guys, things were very emotional. So fill us in on what has happened the last couple of days. Austin says, you know, things really got away from us, and our communication, our conflict resolution really broke down and made them question the relationship. Becca says for her, she hasn't been authentic with how she's been feeling. Sometimes by Austin's request to not bring stuff up on camera, but when she finally spoke up and opened up about those things, and that really made Austin concerned with how it made him look rather than how she felt, and that made her question him. Austin says, you know, it's natural to be concerned about how you look on camera.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's natural. And he says, but I never cared about that more than I cared about you. And he says to be concerned about these things is natural. He's worried about her and cares about her more, but the trust is broken off and on camera for Becca. Becca says, yeah, that's true. We haven't had a lot of private off-camera moments to confirm how he feels about her. We're already starting with the justifications. Like, well, listen, when the cameras are gone, you will have so much time for that. So just say yes, and then you can have the moments off camera. But we need the yeses. So we're gonna need you to say yes.
Yes, I was beside myself when he said that. When the optics are done, y'all can have those moments. And it was just like, but how are we even? The moments are supposed to strengthen us. Like, how are we even going to know if those moments are going to be there for us? Like, we're being forced to say yes in order to see if those moments will be good for us.
Yeah. Dr. Pia brings up how even just in this moment on this couch, y'all are so close. Was that a lie, or do you think this is genuine, Becca? Becca says she wants it to be, and she's just replayed everything in her head, and she needs to take time for herself to refocus and figure herself out. Dr. P says, well, you know, the 8 weeks is very anxiety inducing. And what you need to do is just tell your anxiety to shut up. I said, now why didn't I think of that? Just tell your anxiety to shut up.
Easy.
Why are you wasting all these money on therapists and drugs to fix our anxiety? Just tell your anxiety to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, anxiety, cut it on out.
And then it's done.
Anxiety, hush up. And that your anxiety would just go away. Just bring it down a little bit. Just bring it down.
Anxiety, where are you?
Yeah. Hey. Enough of that. Get lost, anxiety. That's what you need to say, right?
Be gone.
Just tell your anxiety to shut up.
Anxiety, no anxiety.
She says she doesn't know if she can trust it. It's a hard place. She knows it's a hard place for Austin to be in, to kind of sit there and not be believed, but that is where she is. She kind of apologizes to Austin for, not being able to believe what he's saying. Dr. Pepper says, well, that answers can really come outside of this process when it's all done. Cal says, listen, it takes commitment, consistency, and time to build that trust back. But I believe you guys can make it work. They were really trying to get these yeses, y'all. They were really trying to
They really were, because there was that one part too. Before it was like right after the Pastor Cal part, but before Dr. P had talked about how close they were sitting, where Dr. P was like, "Y'all look so good together," and she's like, "Yeah, on camera, he's so gentle and complimentary and affectionate," and he was like, "Well, I feel like her whole framework on this is skewed." Mm-hmm. He's like, because I would, if I didn't want to do these things, I wouldn't be doing them, which I need him to understand. That's not validating. Like, that's not, if I didn't want to be here, I wouldn't be here. That doesn't make her feel wanted. That doesn't make her feel desired, that you're like just there. That's not enough for her.
Well, it's like when
people can give. That's,
well, I mean, Brendan and Austin come from the same school. They're like, well, I didn't leave, so that should be enough. Like that should be all you need to know. But it's about what you do in all moments of this experiment, not just when the cameras are on or whatever. But the time has come. We need to get your decisions. So what did you up to this moment? What did you think the answers were going to be?
I thought it was going to be a no from Becca, but a yes from from Austin. Until the bitter end, I'm going to confuse all of their names. But when they asked Becca to go first, I was like, okay, there's no way it's a yes for, yes for Austin if she says no.
Yeah, I thought with so much what she was saying about, I need to focus on myself. I need to take time for me.
Yeah.
Yes, I also thought it was going to be a no. I didn't know what I thought. Maybe it would be a no for both of them. Mm-hmm. But the time comes. Becca says, we get the lead up. She says, to where it's been, I would say no, but I would say yes to where it could be. So Pia says, so does that mean a yes? And Becca's like, yes, I will. I want to stay married.
Wasn't that like Alexis's yes? Like, I'm saying yes to.
Well, Alexis was yes to more time. Like she literally said the words. I'm saying yes to more time. Like I'm not saying yes to being married. I'm saying yes to more time. And she says yes, and Austin says, okay, I guess we know what Austin's thing is. And he hugs her. He says he's excited and he does want to stay married. I said, okay, we got two yeses. Interesting. I honestly didn't see that coming.
Right.
Dr. Pia says, like my pastor says, it works if you work it. Pastor says, did I say that? She's like, no, not you, dummy.
she wanted to be like, you ain't my pastor.
You definitely not my pastor.
I'm like, Pastor Carol, have you said that? Have you said those words? And then I thought it was so funny that he said a variation. Right? He heard that. He said, that does take me back to something else I knew about work. When he said it in a second. Or he said it to Emily and Brennan.
Someone once told me it works if you work it. He was like, Calvin.
Like every Sunday. If you work it, it's gonna work. Right there. If you work it, it's gonna work.
Dr. P said, now Calvin, You know, you just stole that from me.
He gaslights her. What are you talking about?
Pia does say she wants them to be brutally honest with each other and themselves from here on out. In a confessional, Becca says she's hopeful that this will be a much needed cleanse and they can be together without the cameras and rebuild what they had. Okay. I was like, all right, cool. So we get to a little bit post decision day. Now we saw them outside of the decision day venue, and I was like, uh-oh. We got another Justin Alexis happening? What's going on? Because usually we don't see this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're outside, they're talking. He says, they have a lot to figure out in the next couple of days. Becca again says she just wants to refocus on herself because she lost a little bit of herself in this, and she wants to try to clear off the lens that she has viewed this with because it's kind of blurry right now. He says, well, I'm happy. I hope
Love
you are
is
too.
Blurry.
Oh, love is blurry. Yeah, so she says she needs to clean off the lens because it's blurry right now. He says he's happy and he hopes she is too, but he's not really getting that vibe from her right now. He's like, Becca, I need you to smile for the camera and be happy in this moment. Okay, you're being a little sad. I need you to
keeps
smile.
Looking over.
Yeah, smile. Like
right.
Smile. She says, well, the last 3 weeks I just haven't really been happy, but she hopes that she can find that with him again. In a confessional, Austin does say the production element of this has made this very stressful, and he hasn't handled it well. And there's a lot of work to do to figure this out. And he's choosing Becca right now and going to do what he needs to make this marriage work. They walk away from decision day, kind of embracing, almost hand in hand. He's like, got it, his hand on the small of her back. He's like, all right, smile for the camera. Well, let's walk nice and close to the camera now. Right. Better act right. Yeah.
So them being the only couple that was potential besides Michael and Chloe, of the other 4 couples, no one, which is very odd. We usually get this. No one talked about post decision day living plans.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's just like that's always a topic of conversation.
Yeah, we're not gonna worry about that right now. Let's just worry about decision day.
Yeah.
That's the least of our problems. We still got religion and intimacy swept up under the rug. Right now, we're vacuuming the rug of on camera versus off camera. We still got intimacy and religion under the rug. We got to take care of before we deal with anything else.
Because honestly, because they've been so deep in the on and off camera issues, I was like, I forgot intimacy was one of their issues.
Like religion been on the backlog for a month now. Intimacy been there for a couple weeks. This new on camera off camera thing. This is a new one. This is a new phase we're in. So yeah. we got a bunch of stuff. We got to clear the backlog before we can deal with living arrangements. Okay.
They need to make a list and start trying to cross things off. You're losing sight of their priorities.
Also, damn girl, you keep adding stuff to the list. We ain't doing this other stuff yet. God.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I mean, I think I felt in a good place there, but we still have so much more to unpack with Emily, Austin and Becca.
I didn't feel in a good place after that. I was just like, this still seems like almost a no from Becca. Right. Almost just like it was a very tentative yes. It was like
a yes, and I really need you to, yes, but I really need you to prove to me like why it should be a solid yes.
Yes? Question mark.
And Austin is not capable of that.
No.
Yeah. So we'll get into it after we get through the other 2 decision days. So we get Emily and Brennan.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This one was good. I was like, oh yeah, let's go.
I know. So he slept okay last night. Duh, you've been living separately for days. I don't why.
I slept great. Like I had no
just
worries.
Like every other night.
Yeah.
He said he feels a little nervous for today. Emily feels pretty on edge. She feels like today is very important for her to get out everything she needs to say. We cut back to him. He's like, he feels like the only thing he's nervous about is her being hostile and because he's in a really good headspace right now. And they keep doing this back and forth of him just, he wants today to be good, be easy, get out what they need to say. And then Emily is like preparing for war.
I'm gonna give it to him.
She
She might as well put the eye black on. Like, let's go. Let's get ready for war. Let's go.
put on her bandana.
Mhm.
She said today is going to be one of the hardest days she's ever had to go through. Meanwhile, Brennan he's like, I don't want no hostility, no negativity.
He's like, I'm looking to get through this in about 5 minutes. Can we can we go through this real quick? Because
He's
I
like,
do
there's
not
not
want
much
to
to
linger.
say.
Yeah, I don't want to linger on this. I want to be in and out real fast.
Right. We cut to the experts, and Dr. Pepper's like, Emily and Brennan, like, they had a very serious illness to deal with. And she's like, well, not illness, more like an accident. I said, why did they cut that
Why
out?
leave this stuff in?
That was so unnecessary. Like, that felt like that could have easily been left on the cutting room floor. Pastor Cal says somewhere along the lines things fizzled out with him, fizzled out with them, and Dr. Pia is like really wondering what happened with them. And Pastor Cal's like, we go through months of vetting, but sometimes you just really can never know why somebody is not attracted to somebody else.
Right, audience? You guys feel it? Like, he might as well just turn to the camera like, this is not our fault. Like,
right? We can't control Brennan. Pastor Cal really does think that Brennan had a specific type in his mind, and then he couldn't get that out of it and get out of his head. We get this flashback of their journey so far. And what I gathered from it was she said that he was her type when she first saw him. And she did really appreciate that he was at her side during and after one of the most traumatic things that's ever happened to her in her life. When he first saw Emily, he thought her energy was radiating, and he thought they could have a lot of fun together. He said they just don't see eye to eye with their communication.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So here comes my favorite moment of the entire episode. And guys, I need to take you along this journey because I feel like I was able to get Jason there pre-show.
Truly.
So if you're watching the YouTube video, then you'll definitely appreciate this. If you're listening, we'll do our best to describe it. So this happened when Brennan walked into Decision Day. Could you hear it earlier? Or you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Let's share it and let me know if you can hear it.
I cannot hear a thing.
You can't?
No, but it's not important. The audio is not the thing here. The visual is what we're looking for.
Okay. I feel like the audio helps though. Let me try one more time. Sorry. I'm gonna share my screen. Also share the audio. Yeah, window to share the audio. Oh, it has to be in Chrome. Oh well. Okay, we'll just do it this way. Okay, here we go again. So, if you're watching, this is Brennan entering the room with the experts. Okay, the experts get up. He hugs Dr. Pepper. So Brennan goes to hug Dr. Pia, but on his way up, his arm in the slightest, I'm talking there, it was like a feather, slightest bit bumped into Dr. Pepper, threw off her balance, knocked her back into her seat. Let's run that back. So if you're looking at Dr. Pepper,
take a look at the highlights. No, we slow it down. Can we do it in slow-mo?
I know. I wish. Let me see. Playback speed. We can. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So he hugs Dr. Pepper.
Obsessed.
Okay. And then this
you see here, there, right there.
There we go.
Oh. And she's
stunned.
Sorry. She gets
Dr.
stunned
Pia
for a second.
looking like, is she okay?
She's literally stunned. She's like, oh, and then falls down in the chair. Oh.
Here we go. We have the hug, and then
Workman's comp. Workman's comp. I've been injured on
She
the
is
job.
in her seat.
I've been injured on the job. I'm surprised Dr. P didn't go, did you see that? Brennan just pushed Dr. Pepper. Did you see that? Call 911. Get the cops in here.
I can't. Well, obviously, I recorded it on my phone to my TV. I cannot tell you how many times I watched that right after it happened. I bust out laughing. I
Let me
couldn't.
tell y'all, she was so excited to share this. She came into the stream yard like, I have the perfect clip for the show. Like, watch this. And I vaguely remembered this, but Aysha was so excited about it. She got me more excited about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll play it one more time.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
There she go. Good to see you.
Oh,
nice hug.
Yes.
Here we go.
As if he just like batted her with his arm, like, sit down, Dr. Pepper.
And then they show her sitting in the seat. It has to get back up because she has been knocked down.
Dr. Pepper, you okay? You've been drinking before decision day, Dr. Pepper? I know she probably had the pregame because she's like, I know I'm not gonna drink much champagne today, so I might as well get my champagne before the decision days.
There's gonna be no champagne toast.
They didn't even pop champagne for Bucky and Austin. They're just like,
they did.
Huh?
They did. They drank.
Oh, they did? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, I didn't clock that. They're like, well, we feel like this isn't really a yes, so we're gonna save it. like how many bottles of champagne should we bring? One, maybe.
Maybe we could probably split that if you know. So that was my laugh of the evening.
Dr. Pepper was pre-gaming.
Right. And so then Emily comes in. And when Emily, I don't know if Emily made a face at him or something, but it immediately soured Brennan. Like Brennan was like already in like a defensive mode after she like walked in, looked at him, and she sat down. So I don't know. She was like,
it was a tense hello. I was like,
yes.
Hello.
So she tells the experts like it's been just hard to like fully recover from like everything that they've gone through. Dr. Pepper was like, you know, if when we do Married at First Sight, if we can't get a successful couple, at least we can get some growth and accountability.
I said, Dr. Pepper. Now, if this is not moving the goalposts, I don't know what is. Okay, we're not.
You get on this show to work on yourself.
No, this is not the goal of the show. The goal of the show is to have successful marriages. Let's not be changing the premise of the show to make yourself feel better. Okay, the goal is marriage and to stay married, not to set you up for future marriages. This is for you, okay, Clay. It's not to set you up for your next wife. You're supposed to get married here and now, okay?
We are here to make strong individuals, no matter if it's with who we match them with or some other random person.
This is not a self-improvement workshop. This is not what this is. This is you get married because we matched you with who you should be married with. That's what we tell you. And you stay married to that person. Not like, oh, well, we did this so you can learn more about yourself. Yeah, you're not gonna get that past me. No.
Mm-hmm. He said, well, he did learn about, Brennan says he learned about himself that he grew up to be more resilient than he thought he was, because he would run before, but he sees the value now in sticking it out.
I said, here comes the bullshit.
You and Pastor Cal both.
Here we go.
And so Emily's like, well, I hope you can, grow from at least noticing that you would run.
No,
she's like, because I need you to know you ran in the hardest way possible with this.
Yeah, no, bro, you ran without running. You were on a treadmill running, basically. You stayed in the same place, but you ran. That's exactly what you did. She
said you ran in the hardest way than you've ever run before. He said, who was there for you during your accident?
Who saved your life? Who saved your life? Me. Only me. No one else is there.
And Dr. Pia said, Brennan, do you see how you're being defensive in this moment? And he says, do you see how I'm being attacked? Dr. Pia said, no, I don't see an attack.
No, I don't. And we focus so much on the knocking Dr. Pepper down. We didn't talk about the lightest of hugs that Brennan gave to Dr.
Right.
Pia. Like, I'm surprised, like, when they hug, like, they don't just whisper in each other's ear, I hate you so much.
Right, I hate you too.
I can't stand you.
I can't stand you either. Yeah, because
you better not give me any grief today. It's like, oh, I'm gonna break it to you hard. You better be ready.
Be ready. Oh, so this was funny because when she said, no, I don't see an attack,
No,
I said,
no.
oh, this is going to be interesting.
This is Dr. Pia's grand finale with Brennan. She's like, I'm gonna give it to him.
Yes.
I'm going to tell him about himself today. Okay, that is what I am here to do.
She said, I'm actually never going to talk to this man again, so I need to get out my final thoughts.
It's my one and only time.
Right.
I will tell him about himself.
Yes. Dr. Pia said, so she said, no, I don't see an attack. And he's just like, he's beside himself.
Low key, Emily kind of attacked him there. Like, Emily kind of like, well, she told
wasn't
him the truth.
yet, though.
She told him about himself, which is what triggered him.
Yes.
So,
how was that an attack, though?
Because she told him something he didn't like. That was an attack in his eyes.
That's not an attack.
In his eyes, it was an attack.
Okay, Brennan.
I said his eyes. Not in my eyes.
How is an attack hearing something you don't want to hear?
Because she accused him of running when he said he didn't run. That is an attack in his eyes. He said he didn't run. She said, no, bro, you did run. That's attacking.
Is it?
Yes, because she contradicted what he said. She basically called him a liar.
I feel like that's being used so loosely.
What is?
An attack?
Well, yeah.
Like,
Pia said
that's
you're being
coming
defensive.
at him?
No, Pia said you're being defensive. He said, well, I need to defend myself from the attack. Now, I don't like how you're making me sound like a Brennan defender. Stop it.
That's what you sound like.
No. I said in his eyes, he was attacked by her telling him that he
I know,
did
no,
run.
I get that. I get how he feels attacked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying it wasn't an attack.
Yes, we all know this.
Okay, I thought you were saying she did attack him.
No, she was just telling him the truth. He didn't like it, so he says,
right. So he said, "Boo-hoo, you're hurting my feelings."
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. I was about to say.
Oh, I protect myself. Like, oh.
And so Dr. Pia said, "Can you put into words how you're being attacked?" He was like, because she's talking about all the things I didn't do. I did everything. Dr. Pia said, that's just not true because you did not do any of the activities. He said, okay, I'll take accountability if you feel like that one exercise is the reason that we didn't work out.
I was surprised it's like, because I didn't do your little activity.
Right.
I did like how Emily says, well, you didn't, he says he was there every step of the way. Emily says, well, you just checked the boxes, basically. I said, yeah, that's exactly what he did. That's a good way to put that.
Exactly. And he talks about how with what they decided to do, they decided to come up with these solutions together. But she explains there are times that she felt like he was trying to silence her and take control of the situation by making her delete diary cams. And you could see Pastor Cal
oh,
what?
Oh, we're deleting diary cams, Brennan? That's what we're doing? Okay.
She said there were repercussions after every single conversation that didn't go his way. And he was like, I know we had our exchanges and you acted out of character. I acted out of character. If I was her, I would be like, don't bring me into this. He said, we just didn't click in that regard. And he's like, it's just constant negativity, criticizing our friends over their vows. I was
First of all, they're not our friends. We barely know those people. Okay. Don't call them my friends.
She should have said, what's Chloe's last name?
All right. Huh? What's Michael's birthday? You don't know.
Because I would start to see some no, I wouldn't actually. What am I saying? But I think Brennan would have a bigger leg to stand on if he was bringing up examples that we had that we haven't seen.
Yeah, but he has this one example and he's latching onto that because he
I can't
used this
believe
in
she
the
said
other
that.
episode. Yeah, he used it in the other episode for negativity. He used it
Yeah.
here for negativity. You have one example, my man, and that's just not, it is not strong enough evidence to support your case. So get out of here. Get out of
He
my
said,
face
y'all
with
didn't
this
hear what she
nonsense.
said right after the wedding for Michael and Chloe. I love Michael and Chloe dearly. And she said that about them.
I love Miguel and Cleo. I love them so much.
And so she says, him saying like she's a negative person was the most hurtful thing he could say about her, because that just shows that he chose to not see the best qualities in her. And he said he felt drained and pushed away, and he just had no effort to give after a certain point. She says, as much as you say that you broke up with your exes over mind reading and communication, you did the exact same with me. And he said, I was trying to protect you. And Dr. Pia cuts in and said, what were you protecting her from?
Mm-mm.
He says, the harsh words that could have had an impact on her. He's like, I care a lot about her, and I just want to be mindful of like how that would affect her. And had I known we'd end up in the same spot, I wouldn't have tried to protect her.
And this is the start of like I was doing this for you, like I was protecting you, which is so infuriating. And he will stick to this gun until the very end of the protection piece. And
protection piece.
okay.
No, I'm saying that's fun. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, and he's basically saying, I couldn't figure out a way to not be disrespectful to her without telling her what I really felt, which is kind of a knock on you, Brennan, and not anything else, because you can't figure out a way to nicely say to someone why you're not interested. You could find no way to say what you wanted to say in a respectful manner, so you just said nothing. Like that's your defense.
It's as malicious as possible or say nothing.
Yeah, like
there's no in between.
That's your thing. Like not very strong case you hear, Brennan.
This was like the same. This gave the same energy as I could have lost you. Yeah. I wouldn't have lost you if we had broken up.
I almost lost you. Oh, gosh.
I almost lost. We could have already been divorced by the time you had your accident, but I almost lost you because we stayed together.
That's your fault. It's your fault through the accident.
Mm-hmm. And so then he says, Pastor Cal says, as I always say, marriage doesn't work, you work.
He said, oh, that's what you always say, huh?
Their arms. When's
really,
the last
Calvin?
time you said that?
Really,
When's
Calvin?
the last time you said that? Tell me. Timestamp.
Do the Jasmine on him. Now, Calvin.
Right.
Oh my God.
Montre, you hear Pastor Cal?
Montre, I can't take this anymore. He's stealing all my bits.
It's basically plagiarism at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pastor Cal said, look, it's all about personal accountability. He's just shaking his head. He said, I am trying to be as respectful as possible, but I see BS.
Oh, I said, oh. This is
and Brennan like almost came, like he like sat for like, what?
What'd you say? Right.
Dr. Pia said, thank you.
Yes, someone's finally backing me up. Meanwhile, Dr. Pepper just sitting there like,
she's like, I'm still trying to get over being knocked down.
Listen, Dr. Pepper is a low-key Brennan stan, and it worries me for Dr. Pepper, okay?
So it was just perfect because Pastor Cal, I see BS. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, someone's backing me up. I'm not alone here in my crusade against Brennan.
It was just like how, like, on decision day when Dr. Viviana used to be able to, like, finally give her real thoughts when she didn't like people.
Now, see, this is the stuff I like from the experts, right? Like, give them a little pushback. I feel like this was the first real, besides Dr. Pia, this was the first real attempt to hold Brennan accountable for what he's been doing this whole time.
Yes. So Dr. Pia, she was like, or no, Pastor Cal said it was very obvious during their first meeting that he was withholding his emotions, and they flashed back to the first time that Pastor Cal sat down with them, and he was like, "Well, what don't you like about her?" And he was like, "We're not doing this." I forgot how
how
that
like
was.
atrocious he was. Like, but I would say, Pastor Cal, why didn't you push back in that moment? Like, why are you talking all tough now? Like, we could have talked this way in that meeting, but you let it go. You let it skate on by. So don't act all tough now.
Yeah,
Where was this 2 months ago? Where was this,
exactly.
6 weeks ago?
Yeah. So Brennan, he claims he's been in this since day one. Emily felt like he was done right after the honeymoon.
He was.
So
He was.
right. And so Pastor Cal was like, see, look, y'all are on different pages. Why is it so different? And so Brennan says he didn't realize what he was doing, but he's sorry. And Emily was like, well, what are you sorry for? And he's like,
No,
oh, well,
he says he's sorry if she felt that way, basically.
yeah, basically. And it was like, what are you saying sorry about? And he's like, well,
Got him.
I did not
Got him.
expect
Like he
this.
did not expect that. She was like
Mm-mm.
a mad mom. So you said sorry. So what are you saying sorry about?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I didn't
You
think
weren't supposed to ask that.
I didn't think we would go any further.
That wasn't in the script.
Yeah.
Are we improving now? Because what was that?
Montre, is she working on a different script than I am? Because
Right.
it's not on my pages.
Right. That was a period. And then next scene, wrap up decision day. So then the biggest Brennan stan in the room, Dr. Pepper goes, well, do you want to tell him what he should be sorry for?
Because we don't know, Emily. Okay.
Right.
Me and Brennan, we're confused.
Me and Brennan.
Yeah.
She said she felt disrespected the day after the honeymoon when they like met at the apartment because she felt that he had friend zoned her. She says he talked to her disrespectfully off camera. He told her that he pitied her because he doesn't want him to be the reason that other guys don't date her or that she doesn't date ever again. She said he's trying to control the narrative. And he's like, I see that now. So I'm sorry that I tried to protect you and I shouldn't have. The worst apology of
The
mankind.
worst. He cannot get his head out his butt enough to realize he has lost and to take his L. He is holding on to this inflated sense of I was protecting you, and I don't even believe he believes that. Like there's a world where a man can actually believe he's protecting her, but I don't even think he believes his own BS. I think he's trying to hold on to this last bastion of him looking like a good guy. I was just protecting you. I was sorry for protecting you. Maybe I shouldn't have protected you. Maybe I should have been a bad guy and not protect you. But I was being a good guy and protecting you. No, stop it. No,
He's like, this is a great narrative to sell. And he's thinking because he's saying it, they should believe it. So the fact they're not, he's like, this is weird.
He's flabbergasted. He's really flabbergasted that no one's believing him right now. The look on his face as everyone's like giving it to him, he's just like what? I keep saying that I was protecting her. Like, why aren't y'all like buying this? I don't understand. Am I not being convincing enough? Do I need to go back to acting class? Like, what's going on?
Did we ever meet his parents?
Yeah, his parents are Russian. We met them right at the wedding, right before he goes out. He has like a little meeting with his parents. Yeah.
And never again.
No, never again.
So Dr. Pepper asked him, so is like what you have to say to her, like, would it be devastating to her? He says yes.
She says, I tried to give you an olive branch, but you wouldn't take it.
Yep. It's gonna be awful. So
I would rock her world with what I was gonna say. It
would destroy her.
Like she would never be the same. And again,
he's just put himself in such a power position.
Yes, this inflated sense of ego and self that you have this much control and power over someone that you're going to just change her life with the venom that you would spew to her. Which is like that's not a good thing to say, man. Like you have to realize what you're saying here is not good. But I just
maybe he'll say it at the reunion.
I don't think he's ever going to say what.
I think it's only that he's not attracted to her.
I think the big thing is, and me and my wife were talking about this. You know that saying, like, it's a great place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Mm.
I feel like that's how Brennan thinks of Emily. Like, I'd have a nice night with her, nice party time, but I just wouldn't want her to be my wife. I think Brennan looks at her. I think Emily likes to party. She likes to
Mm-hmm.
drink. I think she might be a sloppy drunk, and I think that partly has turned Brennan off. I think that was the big thing.
And that would just be so devastating for her to hear in his eyes.
I don't know what they've been through in those moments that she has been very drunk and maybe has said or done something that really
Like
turned him
tearing the
off.
shower curtain down.
Yeah, things like that. So I don't know if he would, if he says, you know, he could ruin her life or destroy her or make no one else want to date her with some of these stories that maybe he has seen of her in her bad times. I think that's probably what he's getting at here. But I think there's way better ways to go about this. There's way better ways to not want to be with someone and go through this process. We've seen it several times throughout the seasons, but his just extreme reluctance to do anything with this process is what has really made him kind of a villain. And the way that he is faking it, which is
Yes.
it's not convincing at all, is what is
Mm-hmm.
making him really look bad here.
Yeah. So she said he told her the other day that he has enough to ruin her on TV after all this comes out. And
Who says that? I will ruin you. Like what?
She said
What are you, a
nothing.
movie? What are you, a movie villain?
Right. He goes from the hero to the villain.
Mm.
She said nothing he can say will hurt her at this point. And he said, "You said you would go to war with me." And she's like, "Well, you don't remember saying like you can ruin me?" He said, "Maybe I did say that. I don't know." Just you get that angry, you just forget. He said, "You said that everybody hates me." And she said, "No, I didn't." He's like, "Oh." She said, "It's literally on FaceTime recorded." She's
I
like,
mean, I kind of think she did probably say that stuff. Honestly, probably did.
And so Pastor Kyle says it's safe to say you all are irretrievably broken, right? You would think, okay, so how are y'all going to grow from this? Let's move on. He said, and I'm not going to fight for y'all to stay married. Dr. Pepper, unprompted by anyone, I'm sure even production was shocked, that she said, "All right, it's time for you to make your decision."
She got to stick to the script. She got to stick to it.
Been the past 20 minutes? Pastor Cal literally just said y'all are broken and I'm not fighting for y'all to stay married.
She said, "What? This is what we do, right? Like, what's the problem?" I don't see the issue.
I said, did she not just hear?
It's like after Cal said what he said, they all should just start getting up. Like, all right, well, I guess that's over.
Yep,
and everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. We didn't do the thing. We got to do the thing. Doesn't matter. It's tradition. We got to do it.
Ridiculous. So Emily says she knows she deserves better than him and this relationship, and she knows she deserves respect, so she wants to get divorced. Brennan says, "I've done my best through and through," and he's sorry that she felt that he tried to ever silence her. And the reality is just they don't click on a physical and emotional level, and it just didn't work. So he wants to get a divorce too. So we got their decisions. Woo! Oh, yeah. What? I'm shocked. So Pastor Cal offers them some advice about moving forward as individuals. Emily starts crying. They get up to hug the experts and to leave. And it's funny because they hug Brennan. He heads out. He's like walking. He like turns back to see if like Emily's coming. But meanwhile, Dr. Pia has Emily's face in her hands, wiping tears. Like, "It's okay. You're amazing, sweetie. It's okay. I got you." It was like a mom just looking out for her child.
It was so interesting because it was obviously they've like cut the scene, like, you know, cut. Mm-hmm. We see a producer standing there. Mm-hmm. We see Cal. They're just standing around. Cal's got like a iced tea in his hand or something. they're just chilling. This is all just behind the scenes talk. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "You're a phenomenal woman.
Yeah.
Like I said, he didn't deserve you, girl.
Yeah.
And but before Brennan leaves, he's like, he's hugging the experts, and Dr. Pepper says, "Well, Brennan, if you need any support through this, you just
Right.
let me know." I said, "Let me find out that Dr. Pepper is a Brennan stan. Like, let me."
Yeah, I mean, all evidence pointed
I might have
to
to look at you askance a little bit, Dr. Pepper here.
Dr. Pia said, "You is smart, you is kind, you is important."
Don't let him get you down, girl.
I was like, this, and how tall is Dr. Pia? She comes off kind of tall.
Really?
Or is it just that Dr. Pepper is
Dr. Pepper is extremely
4'11"?
short.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It's throwing you off here.
Yeah, because then I'm like, okay, Pastor Cal, I feel like is tall. He got to be 6 something.
Yeah, probably. I did find it interesting that Emily got a post decision day confessional, like kind of breaking everything down. Brennan got nothing. Brennan was probably like, "Get me the hell out of here! I am not sticking around for none of your stupid little
got
confessionals."
outside. He's like,
Montre, get this mic off me, Montre. Get this mic off me. I'm done with y'all. Y'all just savaged me in there. I am not sticking around to say anything else to you, stupid cameras. Get me out of here.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta say, I did love Dr. Pia's suit. I was like, it was like amazing. I gotta find that. It's like, this is my style. Ditto. Same color and everything. But I thought it was sweet that they were consoling Emily, because it just gave her that like validation that, okay, you're not it. Don't think that you're in the wrong here, which I wish she would have stuck with, like that feeling.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Brennan and Emily's decision day. No surprise. What is a surprise is this next couple got a decision day at all, because we have Cameron and Claire, who have been separated for a good month now. But for some reason, they decided to give them a decision day. The experts get together to talk about them. Pepper says, lots been going on with them, from their separation to his heart condition, and we want to make sure they have exhausted all of the options. We see Claire. Claire says, this is the first time that, when she saw Cam for the first time, she thought he was handsome, good looking. He's got so many amazing qualities. He's smart, he's hardworking. And whenever they're together, it's easy to laugh and to be themselves and learn from each other. But he does lack some things that she needs in a husband. Like he has a lack of desire for her. He struggles opening up emotionally, and it's like he's kind of pushing her away. She says she is sad due to the hope that she had for the marriage, but she's so grateful that she did it with him, and she wouldn't do it with anyone else.
You wouldn't do it at all.
To say you wouldn't do it with anyone else is always such BS, because obviously you would do it with someone else if it was successful.
If it lasted, and I like, if you knew, okay, this is going to, if you had a fortune teller there to say, this is going to work for you, you will end up married, you would do it again if it was with someone else.
Yeah. Anytime anyone says that, it's all BS. I think even Gina and Clint would say that in their season, like, that's nonsense. Of course you would do it with someone else if it worked.
Yeah.
Duh. It's just a fun thing to say to make yourself look good. Like,
just like, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, exactly. You're selfless. I'm selfish. Those type of people, right?
No, get out of here. I'm about to leave this podcast. No Michael slander today. He barely was on the screen.
You can't leave the podcast, Aysha. I am just a simple candle, and you are the sun of this podcast. Oh.
You wouldn't even know how to put those words together if it weren't for Michael.
Oh, yeah. Whatever would I do? Anyway, back to Cameron and Claire. Cam gives his little spiel. He says, the first time I saw Claire, I thought, wow. He says, but because they don't have that baseline connection, they tend to fall apart. And it can be hard to connect with her because she sometimes hears what she wants to hear. More on that later. So Cameron enters the D-Day, hugs all the experts. They ask him how he's doing health-wise. He says, I'm doing better. But I upped the medication for this. He's taking beta blockers, blood thinners, and he just really hopes he can get through this.
They were like, don't stand up or sit down too fast.
Yeah, basically, he's like, I hope I don't die in this decision day. Claire enters. He stands. He greets her. No hugs for the experts from Claire. She just comes in and sits right down.
She said, greetings where?
Yeah. She says, I don't care about y'all. I'm here to talk about this guy.
Right.
She says, where should I sit? He's like, you can sit over there.
As far actually, do you have a chair for Claire?
Yeah. Can we get a separation thing? You know, I'm sick. I shouldn't be that close to people. So can we just get her a far away seat? He literally is like, yeah, you can see. She says, where should I sit? Basically asking like, should I sit close to you? He's like, no, you sit over there. You can sit in the same chair, but just on the other cushion. Like, I don't want you to sit next to me. Oh my gosh.
Is this their first time seeing each other?
That's a good question. I'm going to say yeah. I think it probably is. Pepper asked him about the moments that he got ill and how they faced those challenges. Cam does make it clear. He says, "Listen, my condition came after we separated." He does say, "I want you to know that I felt you had no commitment to have to take care of me, and I just thought it would be easier to deal with this stuff on my own." He says, in the past, when he's had health concerns, the more people involved, the more it made it difficult. Claire says, well, it's been tough to realize that he just wanted to be alone, but she really didn't want to support him. But there's this massive wall between them, and it felt like he was distancing himself away even more. And she wanted to show that she cared about him, but it just seemed like he didn't want her there. Cam says, you got it.
Right. You are correct.
Yeah. Cam says, she's so empathetic, and he felt the emotion she was giving him. He wanted to feel the emotion she was giving him, but he was too weak to accept it. But he is appreciative of the love that she showed him. And it's great there are people like her out there. In different circumstances, things could have been different. Claire says they had several things they couldn't get on the same page on. And it just seemed like they would remember the conversations they would have differently. So, that's part of their miscommunication. Pia says, well, why didn't you bring these things up to us if you were feeling these things? Claire says,
whoops.
Oh, did we not say anything? I could have sworn we said something. Well, but no, Claire says, well, we were focusing on making sure that we didn't make each other look bad. We were focusing so much on that, we didn't open up to the experts like we should have. Now, she said this, I feel like they were pretty open with the experts. I felt like did you feel like they were holding things back in the moment?
No, I think what Dr. Pia was trying to get at was like, why did it get to the point of y'all separating without like a substantial conversation with us to try to see how we could get it back on track? They did. Yeah, I feel like at the moments they did talk to the experts, they were honest.
Yeah. Cam says, it was too early to have some of those conversations that he thought they needed to have. Cameron does bring up the slender gate of it all. He says, and how that was also a miscommunication, because he was saying that, yes, he does like slender women, but he was telling Claire that he thought she was slender, and she took it as him thinking she wasn't slender. And it made them get into an argument about how she sees her own body. And, she does say that some of it is her own body issues, and it did cause a lot of miscommunication over if she was his type or not. But she does say
that's the thing. She's saying, it's like she's still in this moment, believes she's not his type.
Yeah.
Which means she just didn't hear what he just said. Y'all have different definitions of slender.
And she says something about, but I heard from other people, they didn't really finish that thought. So I was like, did you hear from other people that he said that you weren't his type? Is that what you're trying to say? But Cameron does say, well, I did give you compliments, which is like, and they showed it in the flashback too, of like how he says things like, you're easy on the eyes, which is not exactly, I think she wants to hear something exact. Like, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, and you are definitely my type. But maybe Cam was being as direct as she wanted to, or like he said, she just wasn't hearing the things that he was saying.
Yeah.
So Pia says, well, why didn't you have more conversation around that? Or like whether you were his type. Claire says, well, we only lived together for a short amount of time. He's like, well, I mean, listen, it was 4 weeks. He says, and then I was in hospital. Good. I love that. She says, yeah, she says that's true. That's true. She says after the 4 weeks though, she was growing and her guards were coming down. But Cameron says, well, by that point, it was a little too late for me.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that because it's
Yeah.
like, okay, then we're just on two different paces here. Like, and
Yeah.
it's just not always going to work, but you can't just expect me to just solely be on your timeline.
It's almost like, I don't know. It's almost like they were, what's the word I'm looking for? Mismatched? Is that,
All right.
weird. Interesting.
Never on this show that everyone's
Yeah.
perfectly matched.
No. Cameron says their marriage has had many challenges and he felt like they had their differences and he did feel camaraderie with her. It felt like they were teammates. They both showed up in this and it wasn't easy, but they did it. Cal says, you're both compassionate and understanding of each other. And it's great that you're dedicated to not casting each other in a bad light, but you were like ships in the night that didn't connect. And if they could have had some mediation, they could have had some compatibility down the line. Cameron says, well, yeah, I do want to take my share of the blame for things going wrong. He's not sure what exactly the issue was with the communication, but he knows that he's a part of that. Claire takes her section of the blame as well. She says, at different points, I was unaware of my feelings, and that made her scared sometimes. But she does say she's sorry that she took it out on him, and she knows that what she did hurt him with all of her feelings being all over the place, not understanding where she was in it.
And she said, and that was hard for her as a therapist. I think she was really in her head about that. Like, wait, I should be knowing how to handle this because
Right. She says the people think therapists should be, in both the most in touch with their feelings, but that's not always the case. He says he is sorry that he effed up the process, but
it's like doctors need doctors, therapists need therapists.
Great point. He does tell he's sorry he effed up the process. It felt like he kind of wanted to take control and defend himself against impending rejection. So that I think he's kind of referring to the fact that he almost pushed her into the separation by being like, come on, let's separate, let's go. Like, I think that's probably what he's referring to here.
Yeah.
She does say she forgives him. Cal says, well, listen, feels like we really opened up a door here, but it is decision day and the time has come for the decision. Do you get a divorce or do you get to know each other more and reset? How about those yeses? Can we get 2 yeses from you? No.
Changing decision day on the fly.
Yeah, we get 2 no's. Cameron says, he's proud of them and getting to know her has taught him so much about what is important in relationships. I said, what you learned, Cameron? Give me one thing you learned about relationships here. Again, just more kind of gibberish and nonsense from these 2.
He said not to go after women like Claire.
Yeah. Like people like Claire, a little too uptight for me. He says he's learned about what is important in relationships and attraction, and he can look at the other side of the coin and whatever attraction, but whatever attraction he had is gone. And he looks at her like she's a sister now.
I said, did she get sister zoned? Wow.
Sister zoned. That's a new one. He says, it's someone. He says that he's had a great bond with her. He cares deeply about her, but he does want a divorce. I mean, you can't be married to your sister, right? That's weird.
Yeah.
So it's not the fact that we're incompatible. It's just like you're just like a sister. It would be illegal.
Family.
So just we can't do it. Oh darn.
Dang it.
Yeah. Clara says he has been amazing to her during this process, and she's so grateful for what he has given her. Knowing what's coming up, so it's just like, this is all just lies. Like, y'all just lying right to our faces. It's crazy. She says she can't imagine doing this with anyone else. She's learned a lot about growth. However, she does want a love where she can express herself without a bunch of explanation. She cares about him deeply, but wants a divorce. Pepper says, it's impressive to see you both take accountability. And she does see the admiration friendship between the 2. Clara thanks him. She says, I'm sorry we couldn't take advantage of what you guys gave us. In confessional, she says she can't believe she's using the word divorce, but she feels powerful in the ways that she is standing up for the things that she knows she needs. And Cam's confessional, he says,
she also said it's going to take her some time to identify as a divorced woman.
gosh. Just like I identify as a black male.
Just, girl, that is a fact.
It's a fact. It's not. Yeah, exactly. It's a fact. You can't identify as it. It's a fact.
It's not. It's not a part of your identity.
Right. In a confessional, Cam says this was unique, but playing the blame game is not useful because you can't know how things are going to happen, and he is glad they are leaving on good terms, and that really speaks to their maturity and the opportunity for success in their future marriages. I said, okay. I don't know why we need a decision day for those two. I would say. I would say they really tried to pat each other on the back as much as they could in this.
It felt weird them not, like, I thought there was going to be some sort of explanation why they got a decision day and Lauren and Orion weren't there too. Like felt like
I feel like Cameron and Claire went through half of this thing. Lauren and Orion didn't even go through a fourth of it. They went through like a few days. So I feel like I don't feel like Cameron and Claire should have got a decision day, but I think they are separate from Lauren and Orion. Sorry, Lauren and
Onion. So we got to the juicy part. We got a timestamp. It's 11:35 p.m. on decision day. Why are we up at decision day? Up that late on decision day night?
I said, what's gonna happen here? We get a diary cam poorly shot. I said, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
What we got? Give it to me.
The phone. Becca says, after today, I thought all we wanted was to be done with production and the cameras. But I just got a text from Claire saying that she saw Austin and Brennan out with our producer. So there's a woman that is one of Austin and Becca's producers that is out right now with Austin and Brennan. That's what Claire told Becca. Becca doesn't know where to go from here. She's like, if you wanted to be done with production so bad, why is he out with a producer?
So I have a range of emotions going on from here on out in this episode. Here I'm like, what? What is the big deal? What is the problem? He had a problem with the cameras, not necessarily the producer. So I feel like it's normal on these type of things where you finish up a production. Maybe you go out with some of the producers, you go out with some of the cast, the crew. You kind of celebrate that. Hey, this thing.
Yeah, on the challenge, over. Not married at first sight. We just decided to stay married. Why is he not with his wife that night?
Well, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if all the talk that she had of like, I feel like I need to have time to reflect and focus on myself, that it wasn't like, we'll just spend tonight apart. So that I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. I don't think he ditched her to go to this thing. I think either way they would have spent the night apart, because they didn't leave decision day on like great terms. They left decision day like, yeah, it's a tentative yes for now. We'll see how things go. It was like, everything's fixed, everything's great. We're gonna move in together and spend the night. I don't know. I think she was expecting him. I don't know what she's expecting of him, but I think in this moment, I was like, why is it such a big deal? It doesn't even sound like a big deal that he was out. It just sounded like it was a big deal that he was out with this producer person.
Right. So you're saying that's how you felt at this moment?
Yeah.
Okay. So we get to the get together with where all the couples get together. Even Lauren and Orion are there.
Lauren and who?
Orion.
I know that. I don't know that name.
No clue. Never heard of him. Even Michael and Chloe come. They're halfway through their marriage, looking happy and giddy, which still at that point looks better than these people were at that point. So
100%
looks good so far. They have pizza and stuff. They're eating pizza and looks like they're just like out by the pool at their apartment complex. So Becca was like, just to kick things off, what'd y'all do last night?
Well, no. So we get a confession from Austin. He says, yeah, Becca and I are in a good place.
Yeah.
He says, and I hope this is the point where we know what we want and we can ride off to the sunset together.
Clueless.
Oh, just no idea what's waiting for him around the corner.
So so he was like, "How was last night?" They're like, "Good." And Austin, she asked Austin, "So did you go out last night?" And he's like, "Yeah." She's like, who'd you go with?" He's like, it was like a whole group.
Just setting the trap.
And she's like, "Was a producer there?" And he shook his head. He's like, no producers were there. And then it's like he pauses. He's like, "I don't know." And then she's like, basically.
This is where you messed up, buddy. How could you be so dumb? Okay. She's asking you leading questions.
Because she knows the answer. Yes.
The jig's up, my man. Like,
so he says, "Are you mad at me for some reason?" She said, "Did you come in for a marriage with me or a friendship with a producer?" Even Brennan was like, I was like, "Okay, Mr. Wingman." This is when she said, there was a certain point, which we'll get to it, but she does end up saying, like, this was one of our main issues in our marriage. And I was like, so has this been being said and being edited out this entire time?
I need a lot of clarity because this was not clear enough for me. I was like, so are we saying something without saying something? What's up?
She said this has been the rift in our marriage.
I didn't know if she meant I didn't know if she meant in that moment that you're doing other things besides being with me. Like you're more concerned about going out or doing whatever other than me. I want it to be said in no uncertain terms. You and this producer seemed like you had a thing. I told you that I was uncomfortable with you and this producer being all buddy, all friendly. That's what I wanted. I didn't get that from this. I did not clock. Is Austin having an inappropriate flirtmance with this person? Is that why Becca's upset? Or is Becca upset because he was going out having fun rather than, I don't know, being at home reflecting on their relationship or spending time with her, whatever it may be? I feel like they didn't really give us good clarity on that.
That was my interpretation, is that not that Austin has an inappropriate relationship with a producer, but that the way he is with Becca is not how he is with this certain producer. Like he's probably overly friendly, and it makes Becca uncomfortable because she's already feeling not confident in their relationship. And so that feels like a threat.
I said it last podcast about Becca giving me Chelsea vibes from Love is Blind. This is even more giving me Chelsea vibes from Love is Blind.
I felt it was validated. I'm sorry. Why are you out? If you actually wanted this to work, why are you out with another woman? I don't care who it is.
He wasn't on a date.
Especially somebody who, no, not that it's a date. It's careless. It's like there was no consideration taken how, like Mr. Optics, he didn't care how that would be perceived by somebody he wants to work it out. He doesn't want to work it out. That's the thing. Like, just be honest.
Well, like I said, I think with Becca's like, I need time to focus on myself. He's like, all right, I'm gonna give you time to focus on yourself, but I'm gonna go out and have fun. Like, why can't he go out and have fun? I don't know. I was just like, it seemed like it was a group thing. Emily and Claire were out. Brendan was out with Austin. It seemed like
all single people.
Yes, it seemed like kind of
single.
It seemed like kind of a cast thing. It seemed like a cast party. Now, if Becca doesn't want to go, that's Becca's prerogative. But Austin's like, well, why should I stop me from going? Basically, it's like,
yeah, that's a decision. It's a choice. It's a choice he's making, which I think she's being very clear. You're making a choice that was inconsiderate of how I would feel.
Right, which
we know Austin is very immature.
Yeah, which is what I was wondering if it was that, or if it was because this producer was brought up a lot. I was like, is there something going on with this producer? Which I want a little more clarity on.
Yeah, so Austin. Well, so when Becca asked, like, you here for this marriage, or are you here for a friendship with a producer? He was like, I'm here in marriage with you. And Claire cuts in. You can't lie like that.
Oh my gosh. The peanut gallery was in full effect.
That couch was, they said, we're chiming in at every chance we get.
We're here, honey. We're here.
Right.
You can't
hide from us.
No. We're not gonna let you get away with
popcorn.
nothing. We're not letting you get away with nothing here. Okay.
They're hearing everything. No. Okay. You can't say that.
They were on a text chain before this whole party. Like, all right, let's not forget to mention this when he tries to get out of this. Like,
they're like, here's the shared note, Becca. Make sure you hit these points.
Yeah, like we ready for his ass. We got the trap set. We gonna lead him right into it.
So Austin's just like, I don't know, Becca, and she's like she says she can't tell what's real and what's fake with him. He's like, he's like, I've never said anything bad about you. And she says, like,
what a justification. Right. I've never slandered you. That should be good enough for you. I was like, oh,
right.
Gosh, awesome.
She said that she's like, that has been the rift in our relationship, and I'm not a dumb bee. And she says that he didn't consider like how it was going to end. She's like, did he think about how it would impact her? And he says he didn't. And she said, and she's like, I have been calm this entire season. He's like, wow, that's not true. He said, you've been very emotional like this entire season, and then emotional in season this entire time. Lauren goes, maybe you should be more sensitive.
Maybe that's your problem.
Right. And so Becca says she's like, you know what? I've learned in therapy that I get more emotional when I don't feel safe and secure. And I don't feel safe and secure with you. She said, all the men here have been concerned with optics. Sorry, Michael. I don't know about you. He says, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
She basically said, Michael, I don't know yet if you are concerned with optics.
Chloe, keep an eye on him. Yeah. Because there's something about these men in Denver. Something's going on. I don't know what's happening. It's
a trend.
Yeah, so keep your eye on this man, okay? Right. You can't trust none of these men. None of them.
She said it just hasn't been proven yet. So I can't speak for you, but these other men.
These other boys, these other little boys around here.
She said they are concerned with optics. And so let me pause right
and
here.
The girls are all nodding their heads like, yep. Mm-hmm. Optics, they are concerned. Yep. They're concerned with how it looks. Yep, get them, girl, get them. Mm-hmm.
Optics. Yep.
All y'all.
And so let me pause right here, because I will say, yes, Becca has shown emotion, right? We've seen her hysterically crying, but she has never come at Austin like this. So I think that's what she means by like, she's been calm, but now she's like, she's not trying to spare his feelings.
Right.
And he sees it as, whoa.
You about to see the real Becca now.
Right. Yeah. Katina. He's like, Austin, okay, you can't handle any type of emotion. Grow up. Because grow up? That's all I have to say.
Grow up, Austin.
Oh my gosh. And so she says,
but this does feel a little, it feels like a trap, right? Because it is. She could have had this conversation with Austin. I'm sure he would have preferred off camera.
I'm sure he would have.
But she waited until he was in the middle of all their friends and brought this up.
She said, because look, we'll have Brennan there if he needs to chime in. She was like, I'll have my girls' support.
All the men were just like, I mean, up to a certain point until they got dragged
like,
in.
I'm not touching that. Till they started feeling attacked.
Yes, exactly. And the look on Michael and Chloe's face during this whole segment is just like, I knew we shouldn't have come here. This is a bad idea. We cannot let these garbage people drag us down into the garbage with them.
They're like, we need to go run some what is it? Not sage. Is it sage?
Incense, like
like the you know what I'm talking about. You like sages. Light it, and run that through our apartment to rid us of this divorced energy.
They got a stank on them, and their stank is starting to infiltrate us. Yeah, you know what they say? You lie down with dogs with fleas, you get what is it? lie down with a dog with fleas, you get fleas. That doesn't sound right. Anyway,
I mean, the logic checks out.
yeah, it's a more of a compact saying, but whatever. Like we're guilty by association. They're going to drag us right down with them. They're just like, Michael's like, see, Chloe, you are upset that I wear skirts, that I wear pearls.
Right.
You could be dealing with this.
You could be dealing with somebody concerned about optics, and you.
I don't care about the optics.
I do what I want.
Yeah.
So Austin tells Becca that his priority was misplaced, and she's like, "Well, that's a pattern." She says, "You know what? You will find someone who is more independent than me, and who isn't as emotional as me, and you will be the perfect guy for them." And Lauren says, "So, Becca, what are you saying?" Gosh, why are you doing this?
Leading her through it.
And so Becca's like, look, I'm saying a lot of heated things because I'm really angry. And I really wanted him to be that person that I was like 100% honest with. And he said he tried to be that person for her in every capacity. But that relationship has gotten to a really unhealthy space right now. And he just doesn't know if they can get over this. And so Becca's like, oh, so you're saying you just don't see us getting. I said, you just said, wait, Becca, you kind of just said that. No, it wasn't until this moment that I was like, let's reel it back in. We're losing the plot. Because now you just got mad at him for what you were kind of saying right now.
Yeah,
it was just that, I was like, that happens. When you get too angry and you got people egging you on. What are you saying, Becca? Becca, what are you saying?
Tell him, girl. Tell him.
Right. Tell him about that other thing you told us earlier. And so Emily asked Becca, so do you feel that you want to change your decision?
Bro, who are you? Are you Dr. Pepper? Like, what is this? Is this another decision day? Who are
Emily
you?
says we're all getting divorced around here.
Yeah. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. Join us.
And so
you're next, Chloe. You're next.
Right. And Becca basically doesn't commit to saying that that's what she's trying to do at that moment. And so Claire speaks up. She's like, look, there is a theme here.
Claire had to jump in on this.
Yeah,
Claire was like, Claire said, I'm not getting enough attention right now. I need to drag my stuff into this.
Where's the mic? She said, there's a theme here of being silenced. Cameron said, in our marriage, who was the one being silenced?
He said, don't do this. Do not do this. Karen basically says, I have receipts. Do not make me pull them.
So he's like looking at her like, no. And so she's like, we have our issues that we've had in secret. He's like, I'm not going to support you saying that I ever silenced you in any way. He said, it doesn't feel appropriate to be getting involved in Brennan and Emily's relationship. Mm-hmm. He does bring up how he instigated the double date situation where it was like, oh, after all this is done, let's go on a double date. And it doesnn't seem like Claire believes that. She thinks
Claire basically she tells Cameron he's lying.
She's like, no, it was like, and when it's she wasn't even there, so I'm confused. Mm-hmm. And so,
well, it's the thing about they're having a conversation, and the two of them are taking two different things away from it. This is the whole thing they've been saying.
Their whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Cameron told her, he's like, look, on more than 20 occasions, we've disagreed on what we're talking about.
This man is counting. He says, I have a chart at home that I put down every time we have a miscommunication. That you're wrong and I'm
run
right.
Out of space.
Yeah. I do a little thing where I do 4, and then the 5 is the little cross through. There's 4 of those.
And so Cameron said, I can never win. And then Emily goes, it's always winning with you.
Oh
why are the wires so crossed here? Why are wives going after other husbands? What's happening?
It's the witch's coven. This is like they're the 3 of them are just in a cauldron, just stirring the pot. Girl, how can we get these men? It's like, I know we'll do just plotting together. Just that's what it seems like in this, how they're all just. I mean, Lauren's in on it too. The 4 of them are just tag teaming all these men. Like, we're gonna get him this way, we'll get him this way. Listen, for all that I have said about Onion this whole time, Onion knew to keep his mouth shut.
He did.
Like,
he said, I'm not trying to have him come after me. No better.
Not saying a word.
Lauren
was waiting. Lauren was waiting. She's like, say something. Go ahead, say something. I dare you. I dare you.
Dare you. And then Cameron said he lied every day of this marriage to protect Claire. Emily goes, we don't need protection.
Listen, I did like that for Emily though, because Emily heard the word protect about 30 times in that decision day. She is sick of it. She says, I am so sick of being told I need to be protected from whatever. So I was like, yeah, I said, go off, Emily, go ahead. Well, you deserve that moment. You deserve to say that.
Yeah, it's like that I knew would trigger something in you. And yes, you she couldn't stay silent. Stop
saying the P word, because this is a trigger word now for Emily.
Then the reason for the trigger, Brennan, he's like, wait, can we all just agree to disagree? Like, there's no point in the back and forth. And and I think it was Claire was like, what do you mean there's no point in being heard?
Oh, no, that was Becca.
Becca? Yes,
Becca was like, what do you mean? We're being heard.
I was like, I really don't believe these men children are in a position to properly hear what you're saying. The only one that's actually hearing what y'all are saying right now is about to be 1 month into his marriage. And so he's not concerned about this.
I felt like we were going to a different place at this point.
She's
like, no point. We're being heard.
Yes.
Okay, all right, Becca.
She's this superwoman.
We're free now. We're free women. We can say what we want. We're not going to be pushed under you guys' boot anymore.
Becca says, lying seems to be a common the common thread here. Cameron gets up. He says he goes to do a confessional away from the group.
First of all, this is so insensitive because we know that Cam has a heart issue and y'all are riling him up at this moment. Is this what we're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, he was all the way riled up. And so he says, he's like, look, all of our off-camera, he said all of their off-camera conversations are what he can and cannot say. Right? So basically he's explaining it like Claire is the Brennan to say this is what we can and cannot say on camera. And almost the Austin to a certain extent, based on how Becca is painting it, of certain things he doesn't want to talk about on camera. And he said, Cameron's like, you know what? One thing she told me I can't say is that she's not attracted to me. I said,
oh my, you don't say.
I had no idea.
What a shocking revelation.
There's been nothing she's done that's given that away.
Oh my gosh. You don't say, Cameron. What other daring secrets does she have out there? That she's a therapist? What else do we not know about Claire?
He said, she told me that early on. He said, she's just been manipulating me from day one. And then we cut back to Claire. She's like, wait a second. Where is Cameron? And then we go back to him. He's like, she's literally texting me right now, telling me what not to say.
I freaking died.
She's like, he's not texting me back. He's not. Lauren's like, did he respond? She's like, no, he's not texting me back. And Cameron goes, in a public court system, I'd be in jail for stealing a candy bar. She'd be in jail for murder.
Oh my God. So iconic. She's like, I can't believe she's on it. She's like, you better not tell them about my sixth toe on my left foot. I told you that in confidence. Do not tell them about that unhomed man that I killed the other day.
She's like texting the the emoji with the finger over your lips multiple times. Shh.
I'm sorry. I pissed you off. Don't tell all my deepest, darkest secrets. Like, that's almost what it was like. She's like, oh God, I made him mad. Now he's gonna go tell everything.
You silenced me. I was talking about everybody else. I'm sorry. Please go back. I was joking.
She has the quiet emoji that is just a bunch of knives emojis. Like, you better not.
She's like, I keep calling him over and over. He won't answer.
God, that was the whole setup was just so fantastic, so
I'm like,
priceless.
what? Get up and go over there. He didn't sprint off and
He
run away.
can't. He can't. His heart will melt
He's
down or
like
something.
right there outside of this. Like he won't text me back.
I
Claire,
was
go walk.
I was getting worried for Cameron. Honestly, I was when he was like, "I've lied." I was like, "Oh, Cameron, calm down." I don't know. Almost makes me think this might not have been a thing. I don't know.
Whatever. I was worried about Emily because she also shouldn't be getting her blood pressure up. She just had that accident.
Yeah, Emily, you can see the nice little scar she's got. Like, it's not as bad as it was, but you can definitely make it out there. Because before I was like, can we even see this thing anymore? But I did when we had a close one. I was like, okay, I see the scar right over there. Yeah.
Her hair like covers part of it. So it's been really tense, right? So Michael's like, well, now you've all been through decision day. What's next for you? Brennan, I'm going to take some time to reflect, find the things that I need to work on. It's really going to be a journey.
Well, here's it was so weird, right? Because we leave on the Cameron saying thing about the murder. We come back and it's just like you can obviously tell that the sun's gone down a little bit. It's a little later. Everyone's just kind of chilling. I was like, I feel like this was like a bench clearing brawl, and this probably should have been the end of the party. But we're just all still hanging out as if this didn't just happen.
So we have to have a wrap up conversation.
They're like, huh? I wonder where Cam went. I don't know. Last time we saw him, he left in a huff because you accused him of lying. Like they all acted like this didn't just happen. You're just all now kumbaya cool all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened here. I don't know if
they're back to being buddies.
Y'all gotta calm the F down. Like this is too much.
Yeah. So Brennan gives his speech for the camera. Emily, just no reason, gets up, goes over to Brennan, sits on the side of the couch, and she's like, look, I know I made mistakes. And she starts crying. She's like, and I know I wasn't perfect. So I just want you to know that it's not all on you. No, Emily, you wanted it to work.
Don't do this.
It is all on him.
Don't do this, Emily. Don't backslide. Don't. I was like, Emily, no.
I'm like, remember the experts hyping you up.
Yeah.
Channel that.
He's like, oh, this is perfect. He holds her hand. He's like, oh, yeah, I appreciate you admitting that you were definitely wrong, because you definitely were. Way more wrong than I was.
Yeah, you were negative, right?
Yeah. Remember all the time you said the word hate? Yeah.
And he says he just hopes that they can be civil because there was a lot of good. And so then they hug and he says, shall we squash it? And you're like, could you? I don't know.
No, she's like, no, this is not squash. She does say, emphatically, no, this is not squash.
She said it in a joking tone, though. I know she means it, but she said it in a way that leaves the door open that like he's not like mad at her. Lauren's like, well, this has been a beautiful experience. And she's like, I did express this already to Orion through text, but about how we missed the mark and friendship is on the table. However, you got to pick up the knife and cut the cake.
I said,
which he's not gonna do.
No,
he's put in the effort.
You're gonna take that knife and you're gonna stab it into the cake.
He'd be like, I tried.
Leave it there.
It went everywhere. Yeah. So Lauren was like, well, Michael and Chloe, how's y'all's relationship?
Our last beacon of hope.
Right. Chloe feels that, they've really leaned into accepting each other with how they are, meaning she's leaned into accepting how he is because he was already on board. He says he shines. He's always says that he shines. Come on. Give him a break. Gosh. Michael says, give him his moment. He said he shines, but he is a candle and she is the sun. So he is a candle in the sun compared to her. He believes that she is a much better human than he is, and that's what he
Oh,
celebrates.
Michael,
That's
you're
what he
you're
celebrates.
so humble, Michael. You're such a good man. So humble. Oh
Ladies and gentlemen, a hater.
my god. Come on. Come on. He's the shtick that he's doing is so
It's not a shtick.
it is a
He's
stick.
saying what he is expressing, like he cares about her, right? But he is saying, like, listen, I'm going to say something that I do feel that she'll appreciate.
It's
What's the
overboard.
harm in
It's
that?
over the top. It's saccharine sweet. It's so sweet it gives you cavities as soon as you digest it. It's so sweet it doesn't feel genuine to me.
As a woman,
A woman.
I would prefer a Michael than an Austin.
Well, yes, obviously.
Okay, so
but
so it
what? Like
so why are you complaining?
it's just over the top and too much. It doesn't feel genuine with the amount of stuff he's saying. It doesn't feel genuine to me. It feels like he's trying too hard. That's what it feels like. He's trying way too hard.
At least he's trying.
Yes,
Do you understand the dating pool these days, Jason?
I don't, obviously.
Exactly. The fact that he is even trying is miles beyond what
I get that.
most men
I
these days are
understand that.
willing to put forth.
I do. It's just looking at it.
Literally on this show shows you three, I'm not going to include Cameron, 3 men who are just, it just would hurt to show any type of effort. I can't bear it. So the fact that someone is trying to put in more effort than you can stomach, thank you.
No, I'm just saying, as a viewer of this show, watching, I separate him from everyone else. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying, from what I see on the television, just like, dude, you're trying, you're doing too much. You're going way over the top. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's an awful person. I'm not saying he's a bad partner. I'm just saying it's funny how over the top he's being.
And it's appreciated.
Sure. I mean, fine. But I'm just saying, it's as I'm watching
better believe if Chloe had an Austin, she like if Michael was putting in Austin's level of effort,
yes,
they wouldn't be where they are today.
Yes, I know that. I'm not saying anything.
Then what are you saying?
I said looking at it as just looking at this person on television, it's funny to me how over the top and how way too much he's being. I'm not saying he's a bad partner for it. I'm not saying I would prefer Austin over him. I'm not comparing him and all the other husbands. We know that he's a better husband than these other husbands. We know that. We understand that. I'm just saying, looking at it on TV, I'm just like, this is funny how over the top and ridiculous he's being with all of his verbiage and all the words that he's spewing out of his mouth, and how it's like, she is so selfless while I have a doctorate in selfish. It just makes me roll my eyes. Like, that's what it makes me do. Just,
you've rolled your eyes 20 times, and we've been talking about them for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about it. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm not saying he's a bad partner. I'm just saying it's funny to me how crazy and over the top he's being. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You're taking it.
I just wish
that's something
you
I'm not
knew
saying.
the quality that's in the pool right now.
I understand he's a good guy. I'm just saying I'm not saying anything about how he is in a relationship. I'm not saying he's awful. He probably means this to a certain degree, but he's just taking it over the top is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say he's a bad guy at all. I'm not. It
sounds like it's like the LeBron haters. Oh, he's doing too much. Why does he have to dunk all the time? Why does he have to have all of these high stats? Like, why can't he be more like a Paul George?
I would say that if we're comparing sports stars, I would say, and Austin will love this comparison, I would say that Michael is like Russell Wilson. Anytime you see Russell Wilson out there on Twitter or social media, he's just doing too much.
And that's why all men are haters of Russell Wilson. I literally saw a clip earlier this week that was like, Why do you care what Russell Wilson is doing with somebody else's child? He's being a stepfather.
Well, I'm not talking about
no,
that part
because
of
he's
it.
doing too much.
No, I'm not talking about that part of it.
That.
I'm talking about with all the clips in the media, whenever he talks, whenever he says whatever
About how
he
much
says.
he loves Sierra.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about all the other nonsense he spews. How just he always says way over the top too much of whatever he's talking about. That's what I'll compare Michael to.
Oh, I only see him talking about Sierra, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I only follow their relationship.
He plays football?
Right. Does he though?
Not anymore. Not right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Got cut by the Broncos.
Right. I do know that. So
Sierra might be moving to Pittsburgh pretty soon. That's from what I hear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Steelers looking
Lord. Denver to Pittsburgh. Well, they can live wherever they want.
Sierra said, I followed you to several places. I ain't followed you to Pittsburgh.
Right. She said we could have our house over here. You just travel for your little games and stuff. But yes, Michael does say, she can continue to show him how to be selfless, and he'll show her how to be selfish. He's just a breath of fresh air on this season, honestly. Give me more Michael. Well, I mean, it doesn't look too great next week.
No.
Or like the next time on, because it feels like he's starting to learn more about her. And because I don't know if it, obviously it could be edited, but she's like, if decision day was tomorrow, what would you say? And he's like, he feels like he would have insufficient data.
I'll have insufficient data.
Which is true.
I don't know enough yet. This is what he could have said. Of insufficient data.
So
and she mentions about wanting 5 foster kids at a time.
Oh yeah, she did say that. He's like, okay.
Which also got him like, what?
I'm like, don't they have 4 pets?
Yeah, how would that work? But it could be very chopped up and very different than what we're actually going to see next week.
Right. The last segment we got was Becca saying that this process has put a spotlight on her weak spots. Orion saying like he's trying to build a bridge. Or no, Orion
he
asked her. Yeah. Orion asked Becca, is she trying to build a bridge? And she says, like, many issues were built on each other. Like, they had the intimacy issue, they had religion, and now she has proof that he lied to her. And he just crumbled. Like, the fact that he crumbled so much for her to try, like, she knew the truth. Because obviously, this is what I feel. I feel like this represented something bigger. Just like I explained with the jacket situation last episode. I feel like this represented something bigger. Like, okay, you were willing to withhold what actually was the situation here. When I pressed you on it to get the truth, you stumbled. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So then it's like, okay. So then Becca's in a position of think like, who knows what else you would just withhold because you don't want me. You think I'll think a certain thing of the truth. Or if I'm asking you about something, I have to already know the truth in order to get the truth out of you, because that was the only way that could happen in this situation. So I feel like, especially with their relationship only being 2 months in, that's something we always have to be reminded of. Yeah. They are 2 months into this relationship. So it's like she's still learning how he handles things. And that's just like, I feel like she realized through this conversation, like, this is a wake-up call, because this is how he just crumbles under pressure, and he's not forthcoming about things.
I'm also wondering if he was, I'm going to sound like an Austin defender, but I'm just wondering if he was also caught off guard by the question about the producer. If he's like, are we supposed to be talking about like going out with producers?
He's like, wait, what?
Did you breaking the fourth wall? Am I supposed to be talking about this? I was also wondering. He seemed really calm. He's like, that's like an off-camera conversation. What?
And that's what she said. I'm tired of talking about stuff off camera.
Yeah, I just think Austin I think was it Pia or Dr. Pepper who said he lacked emotional awareness.
Dr. Pia said that, yes.
Yeah, so I think that hits it on the head. He doesn't have emotional awareness, emotional intelligence, all that stuff.
They're just on such different playing fields with that.
Yeah,
She's so emotionally aware and so at least she may feel her emotions very strongly, right? But at least she's aware of them. She can call out that she's feeling insecure. She can call out that she's feeling stressed or whatever. And he's just, I don't know.
Well, I keep making the comparison, but Jimmy Chelsea, that's what I'm feeling.
I don't feel like Chelsea is emotionally aware, though.
I think she thinks she's emotionally aware. She says
she may think aware. It, but I see Becca. I see Becca as a lot more mature than Chelsea.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely see that. I just think they both have maybe similar insecurities about needing a lot of validation that their partners are not giving them, and their partners not realizing that they need to get that validation in certain ways.
Yeah, if you slim it down like that, I can see the comparison.
Yeah, and both are emotionally unintelligent and unaware.
Both of their partners, yes.
And Jimmy and Austin, yeah.
Yes. So she says she just needs to learn to trust her intuition again. And she really does think that he'll be the perfect guy for someone, but she doesn't think it's her. And so that's basically her saying, look, this is a wrap.
Yeah, seems very definitive.
And we get a confessional from him. He feels very blindsided. He doesn't know what to do. Where have you been this entire afternoon? You have I'm at a loss. I literally have no clue what to do. Austin, why are you so in the dark? I don't understand.
She's literally made you a roadmap of what to do. She's constantly telling you what to do.
He said, I have on a blindfold and I can't take it off.
I can't see. Open your eyes. I don't want to.
I don't want to. It's scary. It's scary. I don't want to be independent. My mom is right. I wasn't ready for marriage. It goes all the way back to her. She was like, whatever episode we met her in, 1 or 2 or 3, she was right.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 1, she was so right.
Yep. We didn't see it at the time. We're like, she's just being,
she's so hard on her son.
She's an overbearing mom. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Nope. Moms know their sons. Let me tell you that much.
So Becca says she loves Austin as a human on this planet, as a fellow human.
And something that exists.
She has to know, she had to know that she's just not right for him. And we do see on the previews that Austin said he told he's back with his old roommate. And so he's like, I reached out to Becca and that was a mistake.
I can't wait to see that.
Oh, also in the previews for next time, why did Lauren tell Orion, do you want to be more than friends?
Please, to all that is holy, let that be some sort of edited clip. That is not the case.
I hope Lauren, she's like, yeah, so I met this guy and I was like, do you want to be more than friends?
Oh, please let it be editing. Please.
I'm begging.
Lauren. Please don't do this.
Please. Cameron on the next time on said he has no intention of ever speaking to Claire again.
0.
They could have left off on such a good note.
She had to push it. She had to push it.
And it was being in this group environment.
Revved her up. She's like, yeah, let me get on this. Let me get on this.
I felt silence too.
Let me get him. Let me get him one.
Right. Cameron said, actually, I want nothing to do with that. She's like, wait, my secrets.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Don't reveal all my deepest, darkest secrets, please.
We also did see on the next time on that Michael said right after the sex store, they slid right into sex.
Slid right on in, huh? how come we didn't meet with Michael and Chloe this episode? I want to know a little more about what happened after Dr. Pia's little homework assignment. I heard all about it.
Oh goodness. So yeah, that was our Decision Day episode. It was packed.
It was packed. It was.
I thought it was gonna be like,
almost made the whole season worth it.
Oh yeah,
it's like the real world. We stopped being polite and started getting real.
Started getting really real.
Yeah,
really real. So that was fun. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts. Make sure you go subscribe to the Facebook group or join the Facebook group. It's a Perfect Match podcast. This week, the password is release the text cam. And make sure you subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed. We can get all the Perfect Match episodes as well as Love is Blind. Jason, where can people find you?
You can find me on said Love is Blind podcast, along with Mary Kwiatkowski. We just released episode 12 yesterday, along with our co-host, with our special guest, Sasha Joseph. So check that out. We had a lot of fun there. And yeah, for right now, that's about it.
Awesome. Yeah, y'all can follow me on all social media at Aysha like Asia. That's AYSHA like ASIA. Of course, posting all the dog content. They're just living their best lives. I don't have any really like real updates. Just they're the same old.
Living in a lap of luxury, right. Being dragged from photo shoot to photo shoot,
Look, I had a great idea for a TikTok that I thought was going to last all day. And this morning, I gave them their dental treats. Pepper tends to hold on to hers until she's ready to eat it. She had it all. And I got random moments throughout the day. I'd be working. I'm like, okay, let me get one because it's been a couple hours. Got a video of it. And I was going to do like a TikTok of Cinnamon talking about her sister who won't stop, who won't eat her treat finally, because Cinnamon eats hers right away.
Did you storyboard this? Write a script?
Like in my mind.
Yeah, that's all you're planning out.
But all that to say, Pepper decides to eat the treat while we're recording. So I didn't even get the final shot of her eating the treat. Maybe I'm gonna have to just make something up.
Yeah, do like MAFS. Like, this was it wasn't the same day, but we're gonna put it in here and act like it was, exactly. Put that shot in there.
I looked down, I said, that dental treat is gone.
Pepper's wearing a different collar in the last frame of the like, wait a minute. This doesn't seem right.
So I was
my wife called out during this whole like post-decision day brouhaha about all the women having jackets on and off on different segments of this whole thing. Like, this one she's not wearing a jacket. See, this one she is.
Continuity error.
Yeah. Like, no, y'all got to stay cold for this.
Right. But yes, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. We will be back next week to talk about episode 21 to see the road to Decision Day Part 2. So to see if we will get a couple out of this season at all. So yes, come back and join us next week. So until then, we'll see you next time. Bye.